You've probably looked at those flashcards, the apps that promise to make your baby smarter, the subscription boxes that show up every month with colorful blocks and brain building toys. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you've wondered, am I doing enough? Am I falling behind? Here's the thing almost nobody tells you. The single most important thing you can do for your baby's developing brain doesn't cost a cent. It takes about 5 minutes, and you're probably already doing pieces of it without realizing what's actually happening underneath. Researchers at Harvard Center on the Developing Child spent years studying exactly what builds strong brain architecture in the earliest years of life. And what they found has a name. Most parents have never heard it, but once you know it, you'll start noticing it everywhere, or noticing where it's missing. It's called serve and return. Picture this. Your baby is lying on a blanket, batting at a soft toy, and lets out a little babbling sound, almost like she's saying something to you. You look at her, you smile, you repeat the sound back, maybe add a word. "Oh, are you telling me something?" She kicks her legs, delighted, and does it again. That tiny exchange, barely 3 seconds long, is not just cute, it's construction work. Your baby just sent a signal out into the world and you returned it. And that back and forth, that serve and return, is the basic unit your baby's brain uses to wire itself for connection, language, and thinking. For decades, the common assumption was simple. The more words a baby hears, the smarter they'll become. So parents were told to talk, 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 narrate everything, flood the room with vocabulary. But researchers looking closer at this found something counterintuitive. It wasn't the sheer volume of words that predicted stronger language and thinking skills later on. It was the number of back-and-forth exchanges, the conversational turns, between a child and the adults around them. A parent who spoke less but responded more produced better outcomes than a parent who talked constantly but rarely paused to let the baby respond. Think about what that means. It's not a monologue that builds a brain. It's a dialogue, even one made of coos, babbles, and glances long before real words show up. And here's the equity line that matters most. This pattern held up across income levels, across family structures, across every background researchers studied. A quiet apartment with 2 exchanges a minute can outbuild a loud house with constant chatter but no response. This isn't about how much money you have, how many books are on the shelf, or how enriched your home looks. It's about whether you're answering the serve. Now, picture the mechanism at work in real time. Your baby reaches for a toy just out of reach and grunts in frustration. You could just hand it to her, but instead you say, "Oh, you want the bear? Here you go." And you wait half a second before giving it to her. That half-second pause, that little back and forth, is a rep. It's a single repetition of serve and return, and your baby's brain logs it. Multiply that by hundreds of tiny moments a day, and you start to see why this 5-minute habit outperforms almost anything you could buy. Now here's the study that really drives this home, and it's one of the more dramatic findings in developmental psychology. Researchers studying early caregiver interactions ran an experiment often called the still face paradigm. A parent plays normally with their baby, full of smiles and responses. Then, for a short stretch, the parent's face suddenly goes blank and unresponsive. No smiles, no reactions, nothing. Babies who were just laughing and reaching a moment before become visibly distressed within seconds. They try harder to get a reaction, waving, calling out, and when nothing comes back, some look away or get fussy. The moment the parent starts responding again, babies recover almost immediately. That speed of recovery is the whole point. It shows just how much babies are wired to expect a return for every serve and how much they're actively building their sense of safety and connection around it, moment to moment. So if this feels big, here's the important part. This is not about blame. You don't need to respond to every single signal perfectly all day, every day. Nobody does. What matters is the overall pattern over time, not any one missed moment. So how do you actually build this into your day in 5 minutes? First, notice one signal. When your baby babbles, points, or reaches for something, just notice it. That's the serve. Something like, "I see you looking at the dog," said out loud counts. Second, respond and wait. Give a small response, then pause for a second or two before jumping in again. If you're stacking blocks together, you might say, "Your turn," and wait for her to reach for one before you continue. Third, follow their lead instead of directing it. If your toddler is fascinated by a leaf on the sidewalk, kneel down and talk about the leaf instead of steering her toward something else. None of this requires a flashcard set, a screen, or a subscription box. The apps and toys we started with can be fun, sure, but they can't do what a real pause and a real response do, because no product can read your specific signal in that specific second and answer it back. Only you can. Think back to that blanket on the floor, that small coo met with your smile, that reach for a toy met with your pause and your voice, that leaf on the sidewalk met with you kneeling down instead of walking on. None of those moments needed a product. They just needed you paying attention for 5 minutes. And if you're watching this right now, thinking about how you can fit this into today, that already tells me something about the kind of parent you are. You're not looking for a shortcut. You're looking for what actually works. That matters more than any toy on the shelf. If this helps you see your baby's babbles and reaches in a new way, the smallest thing you can do is subscribe, so more of this comes to you when you need it. If you want to help another parent see it too, a like helps this reach them. And if you like more of these, new videos on brain development land here every week. Your baby doesn't need more toys to build a brilliant mind, just needs your eyes, your voice, and your 5 minutes. That's the whole secret. And it was never really a secret at all.